What's up, Chuckleheads? It's your guy, J-Berg, and
Golden Drag.
And with a very special guest today, Mr. Jon Hodge, buddy.
What's up, fucking idiot?
It's a great intro, buddy. That's Jon Hodge. He is our guest today. We decided to do a guest because we're tired of ourselves, listen to ourselves talk. I wanted to introduce Jon Hodge by way of a wonderful little Instagram clip. So we'll just start out with that. Here's Jon Hodge.
Such a versatile amount of people out there. We do all sorts of shit. Like Magellan and his crew circumnavigated the globe using stars and shit, dude. And then some people can't even get around a roundabout, man. I mean, that's fucking crazy, dude. Like, there's fucking arrows, dog. Like,
That's our guy, Jon Hodge.
Yeah.
And his amazing Instagram clip with about 7 million views now, I believe, if I remember right.
Probably.
So he's smashing it.
That's just a really good joke.
It's incredible.
Probably
It's incredible.
best joke anyone's ever written.
Anyone's ever written. Yeah, you said I've, and I'm like, hold on, John. You're selling yourself a little bit short.
Just nothing that I've put out.
Right, exactly. That's a good point. So, yeah, last week, how was your week last week, fellas? How'd we do?
It was good.
Anything exciting, fun? Nothing?
And I went to Home Depot
Yeah, you did.
this weekend. That was cool. I'm excited for that one to be up by my house. I got to see my sister. She was in town
Right on.
with her husband, who's from New Zealand.
Momma.
Yeah, very funny guy.
Very cool.
Yeah, on accident. His accent's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you call him a Kiwi?
I did not. Is that an insult?
I don't know.
No,
I think
I
it's
don't-
friendly insult.
Yeah, it's friendly.
Oh.
I think Kiwi's just like a...
Why are you fucking Kiwi? Yeah.
Sure.
No, Kiwi.
Is that the... I can't ever tell if anyone's doing a New Zealand accent or an Australian accent.
I don't know that there's a difference.
Yeah, they're the same.
No idea.
New Zealand's just the newer Australia.
Oh, God.
I actually do linguistic archaeology, so
I don't believe you.
they're the same.
Nice, dude. Thank you. It's
I
going
love
to be
it.
nice to have some backup.
Love it. All right.
My week was dog shit.
Nice, dude. Fun.
Tell us.
Why? What happened? You want to talk about
I
it?
was sick, dude.
You were sick all week?
Yeah, but
You still came out.
I know. Well, I was
Saw you
sick
all
really bad over the weekend, and then
Oh, shit.
I thought I
wonder
was
if got you
good. I had
sick.
to go to work. I didn't get no sick pay. you know?
Motherfucker.
So I was like, well, if I'm going to work, I'm doing other stuff.
Yeah, I get it.
You
Yeah,
know?
you already had to go to work, so
And it got better, but I have a cough.
got everyone else sick.
Probably.
That's how you do it, man. That's how you do it.
Maybe.
All right.
I don't know.
Last week was very simple for me. I did Adam Carolla last night.
Hell yeah.
That was pretty fun. Parts of it weren't as fun, but it was cool. Got paid so much, dude.
Nice.
Hosting.
Did he tip?
No, I didn't get anything.
You didn't get anything?
I didn't earn it, apparently.
Damn.
Well,
No, you guys always talk about getting tipped and shit, and somehow I must be too much of a prick to have that go down because I've never gotten tipped from a comic.
did you lay in bed and think about what you did wrong?
Yeah, for a while, for hours, in fact. I didn't even sleep last night. It was very important to me. So that's what we did last week. Oh, this episode, I didn't even say. We're episode 30, I think.
Nice, dude.
Episode 30. Mike Birbiglia, The Good Life, is the name of the special we chose to watch today. John's going to help us through it. He's going to give us the higher points, give a little higher level of reasoning and comedy analytics.
Sure.
And then we'll just keep going from there. I want to welcome. We got a new state to the listenership.
New Zealand?
Oh,
No,
I
state.
said state,
Nah,
motherfucker.
damn.
Just Zealand, not New Zealand. Just Zealand.
Just Zealand, and it's right in Australia.
Yeah, it's dead center Australia. Yeah. It's where King Louis XIV was from, New Zealand. I don't know if you know that, but
I did know that, yeah.
yeah, I've heard that before.
That's old info to me.
the French king was from New Zealand. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. All right, so welcome South Dakota.
Oh, hell yeah.
We got one of the Dakotas.
One
dude.
of the codes?
Yeah, we did.
Only one?
Just one. We don't have North Dakota yet, man.
And do we even want them?
I mean, we love South Dakota way more. It's
Yeah.
obvious.
Is there more people in South Dakota?
No idea.
Dakotas are like Korea, you know?
Why do they?
We like South.
Why did they divide
There
it?
we go. Why did they divide it? Dude, I have no idea.
We should look into.
I,
it.
Why
I
they
have,
divide the
I have a bit
Dakotas?
about that. About like, wait, there's 2 Dakotas, but Guam or Puerto Rico can't be a fucking state? That's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, that's
We
stupid.
don't need that shit.
Be
But there are white people in the Dakotas. I think that's really the main part of it.
They're like Swedish.
No, Maine is somewhere totally different.
Wait, what? I just missed something.
Maine's way up north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who talked about Maine?
No, you just said Maine.
I said the main difference.
You said white people in Maine.
The main, I think I said white people is the main
You
difference.
said the main difference. You're like, Maine's
God
different
damn, dude.
state, dude.
See what I have to deal with,
Maine's a
John?
whole other place.
You see what I have to deal with, John?
You're right. It is geography gym over here.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm pretty sure this whole podcast is gonna turn into a marital counseling session where you're the marital counselor, and we're just like, see what he does to me? Do you see what he does to me? Belittles me at every turn. So welcome to South Dakota, the Jackrabbit State. I think that's right.
Where are you from? Yankton? Did they say where they're from?
Oh, it doesn't say where they're from. Just the state of South Dakota.
I
So
like that town name.
what was it?
Yankton.
Yankton.
Yankton. I never heard of that.
No,
Before.
Cranking in Yankton.
Cranking in Yankton, dude.
Yeah.
Big meth.
I know
town.
some people
don't
from
know. I have no idea. I just
Spearfish.
made it up.
Oh, I thought it was a jerking off town.
That's what I was thinking too.
I
The
know
old
some-
Yanktown.
The only people I know from South Dakota are from Spearfish. No idea where that is or what that's about. A little bit of trivia there.
That's cool.
And that could be North Dakota. Actually, I have no idea. Now that I think about
Nobody knows.
it. But yeah, so thank you, South Dakota, for tuning in.
Appreciate
Today,
you.
as I said, Mike Birbiglia. You guys want to take a listen to the trailer?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. This is Mike Birbiglia trailer for The Good Life.
When I was a kid, I always viewed my dad as larger than life. Like he was a doctor, and in his free time, he got his law degree. That's how much he didn't want to be a dad. My dad would sort of fly off the handle and be like, "Where are my keys?" I'd be like, "We gotta find Dad's keys." A few months ago, Jenny had made me pancake. She's deeply familiar with my health profile, so she knows the right amount of pancakes for me to eat. It's pancake. So I wanted to do something nice for her because my love language is keeping score.
That was the trailer for Mike Birbiglia's sixth one-man show special called The Good Life. He's had 7 specials total. The first 6, or the last 6 of them, I should say.
Was it put down as a one-man show special? Or a comedy special?
No, I mean they don't differentiate on like Netflix, but if you look at his Wikipedia page, they'll call it like a one-man show type special.
Oh.
So this was filmed at the Beacon Theater. That means back to back because the last one we just did, Sarah Silverman, was filmed at the same theater.
Yeah.
A little bit of a different backdrop. He started an improv troupe in Georgetown, with John Mulaney and Nick Kroll. They were in an improv group at Georgetown University.
I bet
So that's
that
kind
would've
of
been
interesting.
Big college boys.
Yeah, big college boys, just passing girls around like crazy.
I bet.
Improv troupe. Started stand up at that time. Several albums. He was stand-up comedian of the year at Just for Laughs in Montreal, or by Just for Laughs in Montreal. He had album of the year in 2017 in Vulture magazine and like 3 other different publications. And he hosts a podcast called Working It Out with Mike Birbiglia. That's a very popular podcast that I've never listened to, but my understanding is that like he takes jokes kind of from stem to stern and just you start out with sort of a premise and then he works through it. And then it comes up with the finished product. Does that sound right?
For somebody else?
I'm not sure if he does it for himself, for somebody else, or what they do. Do you have any idea?
Man, I don't know. Maybe
No?
he should take that advice and apply it to his jokes.
Colton loved this special a lot, as you can already tell. So that's Mike Birbiglia in a nutshell. Hey, right into overall impressions, and you already have one. Go ahead, Colton. What was your
Yeah.
overall impression?
My overall impression was I hated it and it was trash. It's so
Not
long.
mincing words here. It is-
117 minutes.
No.
The whole thing is a snooze fest. I fell asleep 2 times.
I mean,
watching
hour
it.
17, right? But
Yeah. What did I say?
117 minutes.
Yeah, you're right. My bad.
It just felt that way.
It did. It felt that long. Yeah, I was not a fan of it. Not a whole lot of jokes. Ironically, has a podcast called Working It Out. Nope, not for me.
All right. That's strong.
Yeah.
Strong.
Very
You
strong.
say back to you, Jay. You were gonna say
I was
that,
going to say that. Back to you, Jay.
Like you're in
Okay,
the field.
Colton.
Reporting
we'll
from
go
the
to our
field.
sideline reporter Jon Hodge for his impressions. What do you think, John?
Oh, I didn't like it that much. I've also fell asleep.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
It's a tiring one.
You didn't like it and you didn't hate it.
I didn't think it was I mean, he has a name.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard his name
Yep.
a lot.
Can you pronounce it? That's the big question.
I just Birbiglia.
That's
Yep.
close.
That's it.
It's close. Closer than Caligula, like you kept calling him last week.
This was the first time I've ever seen it. I wish I would have known he was a one-man show thing.
Oh yeah,
That changes my perception.
Well, he's not. He didn't start out as that. He started out with like 3 albums that were all comedy albums, but
So he kind of
since then
No,
he's been doing. He's
that's
morphed
just the
into
cop out.
It kind of felt a little cheesy to me.
Okay,
I mean, that's just what it
all
is.
right. Yeah, so I totally understand that. I liked it, but I get why you wouldn't like it. It does feel a little bit like a sermon or like a TED talk. There's a lot of like he's kind of unloading a lot of emotional baggage in it, but that's sort of his style, man.
Yeah,
And
no,
if you saw his true stand up, I'm curious what either one of you would think of it,
Yeah.
because he does jokes that are like it's more of a jokey, like,
well, he's obviously got a lot of
comedy.
respect, so I got to be like, well, but
you don't have to do shit, man. This is stand up snobs. You can be as much of an asshole as you want.
Yep. Hated it. It was ass.
it's fucking trash.
There you go. The boys think it's horrible. All right.
No, I mean,
It was so tiring, dude. Even when you played that trailer, I almost fucking snoozed.
I liked it, but I didn't love it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but I already knew what I was getting into. That's maybe that's the big.
see, I was like
difference.
on the end of the medium spectrum.
yeah.
The other end.
I mean,
you liked it, you didn't love it.
yeah. I would call it. I would call it a 5.5 or a 6 out of 10.
Didn't like it, but I
That's
didn't
what would
hate
say.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably like a 4 out of 10 for me. It was just so boring to me. Like Sarah
got you.
Silverman was on this stage last week, and she was so much better.
Okay. I mean, she was. Yeah. It's not how time works. You know, like that. They don't perform as we're
Next
watching
day,
it, right?
he was on the next day.
The crowd was hot when she was up there.
Yeah.
All right, so overall impressions. That's where we landed. That makes sense. All right, the Colton Drake special, Fashionisto.
All right, Fashionisto. How I feel about it. Okay, so this is at the Beacon Theater. He has a giant, looks like a painting or something behind him of trees and a trail and like a sunset or something.
It's not even a trail, it's like a bike path.
I thought it was a river.
It could be all of those
Whatever
things.
it is.
Art
Some
is
sort of-
however you
Some
interpret
sort
it.
of curly, windy thing.
And so that's kind of what the theater looks like. On the side, there's some blue lights kind of on the side of him.
That's a trail for sure.
Aside from that, he is in this frumpy clothes. He's got this long black, I don't even know if that's a long sleeve shirt. It looks like a frumpy long sleeve shirt. And then he has like some Dickies pants on. It looks like dark gray. It's a pretty awful fit, I think. Here's the thing.
What do you think about the shoes, Cole?
They look like bowling shoes.
Can't even see him. Let me see him. Let me get a good.
You
Let me get a good.
Do your
peek
fucking
at-
research, Colton. Jesus Christ.
Oh, hold on.
They're orange.
No, we don't have
No,
time to
they
wait
don't
for
fit.
them to fucking.
They don't fit his vibe.
Good Lord.
They're
They
like
fix-
white and orange.
They 100% fit his vibe. If you're talking about just a dude who wants to go bowling with his family.
You're right. they do fit the
Like, what are you
vibe.
talking about?
Yeah, he looks like he works behind the scenes of like Broadway or something. He's kind of wearing like that kind of.
Interesting. All of his one-man shows have been on Broadway.
Looks like a roadie.
Another little. So he's the guy in front Broadway. Actually, Broadway or off Broadway, one or the other.
He just looks like a roadie to me, and I don't really
I
like
get
his
it.
face.
I don't really like his face.
Along with the frumpy clothes and the face, it just doesn't go good.
Your face doesn't go well with your body.
Well, here's the thing. This always trips me out, right? Is when you see like these horrible fits, right? They picked those out. Like they had that probably on a hanger, and he's like, "I'm wearing this tonight," and it's like, "That's what you landed on." You know.
I mean,
Spruce it up a little bit. Also, I'm not crazy about the painting in the back. I think the painting in the back is ass. Also, it just doesn't. It's nothing is. It's just not coherent. It's stupid. I don't like it. What is there to like from it?
I just love the stupid. What is there to like about it? I have whatever. He looks like a fucking 50-year-old dude to me. He's wearing a plain T-shirt that I think is a little bit too small for him, like in terms of length. His pants are a little bit too baggy. I know that because I wear my pants way too baggy, so I get it.
They look like Dickies pants, like work pants.
And yeah, he's wearing bowling shoes. It's definitely not about. His look is definitely not about trying to impress anybody. That's very clear.
Yeah, it's almost like his act. It's just boring.
Oh, well.
That's probably how I'd put it.
Okay. What do you think, John? What do you think about the look of the everything?
Yeah, well, yeah. He looked like a 50-year-old guy.
Okay.
Didn't like it, but also 50-year-old guy.
Also clean shaved. Gross.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
Yeah. Put a little hair on your face, dude.
I don't know
is
why.
that disappointing?
Mike Birbiglia sounds like a guy with a mustache, at least. Don't you think?
I don't know. I've seen him before. He's always been clean shaven.
Okay,
whenever
so
seen
I've
him,
never
so
seen
I
him.
guess I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't take myself back to the time I hadn't heard of him.
He needs a sports jacket or something.
Maybe
needs a
tie it
jacket.
together.
I think that
White
would
jacket.
make it look a little
A
bit
white
better.
jacket with rhinestones? Is that what he needs?
Yep.
Maybe a monocle? Should you get a monocle? Maybe a monocle.
He could wear a jersey and it would look better than whatever he's wearing.
I didn't like the painting.
You didn't like painting either?
I didn't like it there the whole time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't like the painting. You didn't like the painting. Colton hated his look.
2
You
Prince
wanted to
Alberts.
beat him up. 2. Wow.
2 Prince Alberts.
All
Ding,
right.
ding.
I'm actually surprised you went that high with it, to be honest with you. What do you think? If you scored it out of 10, what would you give it?
How
Jon
many
Hodge?
Prince Albs?
Well, he doesn't give out Prince Albert. That's only your thing. We're not allowed to do that.
Oh, for copyright infringement?
Yeah, that's right. You're the Prince Albert.
What do I give out? Stars?
Whatever you want, dude.
What are my numbers?
Not Prince Albert's. Dude.
What's the gauge?
Out of 10. Out of 10.
On the most scale of hardness?
Wait, what?
How hard did I get?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. You can do
0.
that.
0.
0 on the
You
most
didn't get
scale of
hard?
hardness. I didn't get hard at all.
Oh,
Nice,
man.
dude.
That's rough.
I might have when I fell asleep.
Nice.
You fell asleep. You fell asleep.
I woke back up.
You guys are
Dude, Bev woke me up because I was making her watch it with me. She like shook my leg and she's like, hey, are you sleeping? She's like, I can't watch this twice. This is too boring. And I was like, okay, sorry. I'll try to
Well-
stay awake.
You have it in for Bev now, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I get it.
Well.
All right, so that's Fashionisto. We got that done. I knew that was going to be interesting. I knew you didn't like the way I didn't realize you were going to go so hard on him genetically. It's just like, I don't like your face. But
Absolutely no
usually,
control of
usually it's supposed to be like how
It's clean shaved.
things that they can actually control,
Yeah,
not
he
like
can.
things that.
Grow
Do you know if
some
he can
hair.
grow anything?
Grow
You have
some
no
hair on
idea if
his
he can
face.
grow any hair on his
I
face.
Cole's
can
like,
tell.
I don't
You
like.
can tell.
He's like, you know what's fucked up is he chose this out. He had it hanging on a hanger. I don't like his face. Like he had a face just hanging.
Just ridiculous face.
gonna
He's
wear
got a
this
wall
one.
of faces. Was he fucking Arya Stark over here? Like, what are we
Pick a
doing?
better face.
Yeah, Game of Thrones reference.
It's just
Yeah.
the presentation of his face. It's bad.
It's the presentation of his face. I don't like the way he smiles or the height of his ears.
Honestly, you say that smiling as a joke, but I wasn't crazy about his smile.
Dude, I feel like at this point, I'm just gonna shit on everything.
I'll say something nice about him.
Ramping it
Like
up a
Big
little
Brother John comes in, I gotta show him how tough I am.
bit. Even though I'm like hesitant. You know?
I'm trying to get John to be free, dude.
Jay did tell me this was kind of more of an interview situation.
Good luck. It's all right. You'll get some good clips out of this.
That's
always
the only
here
reason
for
I'm
it.
here.
Yeah. We're here for the
I
clips.
heard I got paid in clips.
Dinner.
Those have got a lot of value.
And dinner, dude. Don't forget about dinner, dude.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's do Mom's menu right now. Mom came in hot. We got chicken tenders
Chicken tenders
Yep.
on the George Foreman.
on the
George
fake George Foreman
fake
grill,
George Foreman
which is
grill.
actually a Wolfgang Puck grill. Ooh,
Ooh, even better.
fancy.
Wolfgang.
It's a
Puck.
knockoff.
I mean, it's hard to say that though because it's Wolfgang. It probably costs like 10 times.
I
as
feel like
much.
Wolfgang
You know what I mean?
was probably first because that's an old name.
Does it have an on-off button?
Do you guys know who Wolfgang Puck is?
No.
Oh, he's a very famous chef. Like he's like the Gordon Ramsay before. Gordon
I was thinking
Ramsay.
the bassist for Van Halen, right? Like his son was Wolfgang.
Shit.
Wolfgang Mozart did. Mozart Wolfgang, right?
I don't remember. It's one of the some old dude. I'm as bad at that as I am at geography, so I don't think that's gonna.
I love classical music.
God damn it, John. What do you like? Who's your favorite?
Oh, right now?
Wolfgang Puck, Avi.
Chopin did.
Chopin?
Chopin did.
Chopin?
Tchaikovsky. I don't know. He's Russian. Tchaikovsky.
Tchaikovsky?
Tchaikovsky?
I don't know. Whatever.
He played the cello.
Oh man, we're getting so
He played it all.
so
dude.
into the weeds.
Nice.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just so confused. I feel like I can't tell if you're. I'm pretty sure you're full of shit, but I can't tell for sure right now.
I've never been more serious in my life.
Yeah, you're
serious
full of
guy,
shit for sure. Till that I didn't know, but nice slurp, dude. Jesus Christ, dude.
That's my dead
That was
giveaway
fun.
if I'm full of shit.
You're just slurping it
That's
up.
my tell, dude.
So yeah, thanks to Mom for the house salad, for the tenders, and for the tater skins.
Tater skins.
Tater
are
skins
great.
were gas.
They're
I
pretty
like
good.
those.
Yeah, pretty
I
solid.
like Dalsos and the honey mustard.
and like 47 different dips. Like she doesn't mess around, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to Mom's Menu on that one.
Thanks, Mama Jan.
Good work, Mama Jan. Yeah. All right, we'll get into our favorite jokes / clips, which apparently is going to be a short segment with these boys over here. Let's start out with your clip, Colton.
I was diagnosed 20 years ago with this very rare condition called REM sleep behavior disorder. And I've talked about it so much in my comedy specials that when you go to med school and you study sleep disorders in the DSM, the example of REM behavior disorder is me. My dad is a doctor. He wanted me to go to med school, and I didn't. But I'm in there. I basically teach. I went to my sleep doctor a couple years ago and I mentioned this to him. I go, you know, in the DSM, like, I'm the example of RBT. And he goes, that's not good. I go, what do you mean? We did it. He goes, well, the problem is that I'm not entirely convinced that's exactly what you have. I said, we're going to have to write a mass email. Because there's a lot of people walking around this earth thinking they have Mike Birbiglia disease. Mike Birbiglia might not have it. Can you imagine if Lou Gehrig?
All right, I cut it off there.
So what I like about that joke,
Yeah, talk to me about it.
what I like about it is he's kind of saying some stuff that's pretty easy to like put together. I think with like the whole shit. Fuck. I didn't. Even then listening back to that clip, I'm like, I don't really like it that much.
Jesus, dude.
But like the whole thing with his name in the book, and he's like, we did it. Like it's kind of obvious right there. Like, but he has a timing where he kind of pauses enough on it to where when he drops the punchline for it, you don't see it coming, even though it's pretty obvious. I like that. There's a couple little tricks that he does in that I like. And I feel like that was one part of the special where it did kind of take off. You could tell how many laughs he was getting in a row. The whole special isn't necessarily like that.
What, you said there are a couple tricks that you like that he did in there. Do you know of any that you can talk about?
Like
What do you mean?
that one trick, for instance, of like having the punchline is you already know what it is, but with his timing, he separates it.
And
then
with the punchline of what? What punchline?
The punchline of we did it. Like, yeah.
Okay. All right.
And the mass email, like some of that shit is just kind of like, it's just right there. It's honestly doesn't have necessarily a clever turn to it or anything. Yeah. So I like that. I think it's cool it's a cool little right trick. I think it's not making it too hard.
I would say that is it's a very representative sample of the type of jokes he tells, in that there's a lot of pauses and there's a lot of like he's like sort of pulling back from it as he says it, like like that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where it's almost not a punchline, right? Like if you said that in a full sentence, it wouldn't be a punchline at all.
Yeah, it's sort of showing his confusion with the reason or with even having to say the punchline.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That's very, very common in his jokes. That's a big part of his style, I would say. So if you don't like that, you're probably not going to like it.
Well, and I think maybe I did myself a disservice with not really knowing who he is so much. Mm-hmm. And if I would have known kind of more what his voice was and kind of what to expect, I think I would have gone into it differently. I went into it with everybody being like, he's so good. He has this podcast about working out bits. So I was kind of expecting more of like a setup punchline kind of joke, even having long story. I heard he was a storyteller, but even having that, I thought it would be a little more reminiscent of some of those other people that we've covered that have done.
I got you.
Stories and make them punchy.
What say you, John? You got anything to talk about with that bit?
It was fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fine joke.
Best color man in the world right there.
No, I mean it was.
It was good. It was fine.
The Lou Gehrig thing was I kind of felt like something was coming. Once he said, "Oh, there's all these people walking around with Mike Birbiglia disease,"
which nobody's saying that, by the way, right?
I mean, it's an extremely rare disease. So I have
I
no
like
idea.
he did a
you know what I
rhyme
mean?
in there. He's like the RBD, it's me. Right?
Oh, that I don't even remember that part.
He had some cadence to it.
yeah.
That was cool. But I do think it was kind of a relatively straightforward joke.
And he's getting a lot of mileage out of it with the crowd.
Right. Yes.
Because he tells the
the joke.
joke, he sits on it, and he gets a laugh out of that, and then
Yeah.
he says something awkward, and then he sits on it, and then he gets a laugh out of that. He can do that for a long. It's kind of like
Yeah.
he can do that forever almost, and it's just gonna.
Well,
keep
then
working.
we didn't get to it when you played it. But then he
Yeah.
caps it off with, "Yeah, I just compared myself."
Yeah,
to
I
Lou
just
Gehrig."
compared myself. I mean, I had to cut it off at some point.
Yeah, no,
I
that's,
didn't want to listen to the whole special, but yeah. You picked this one of the same bits that I picked. I'll set it up by saying to him talking about how he wasn't as close with his dad as he is with his mom, and that he's religious.
yeah.
And here we go.
Just when I was a kid, I was very religious because kids love magic. And I love going to church because the priests got so many laughs on so little material. You know, they'd be like, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John boy. People would be like, Father Patrick's hilarious. I'd be like, he's not hilarious. There are no punchlines. It is all setups. And I was just like, get me up there, put me on the mic, sign me up for some open altars. I would kill. I would crucify. I mean, in the right context, I would crucify.
Talk us through it. What'd you like, buddy?
Well, it's relatable.
Okay.
You know, I laughed because definitely has some pastors that were getting some softball hits out there.
Absolutely.
Just like, you know,
Yeah, you can say whatever you want as the pastor.
yeah, everyone's gonna laugh.
Like, no one's gonna be like, this guy's fucking dying up there, dude. Like,
But
you don't have an extra hour in the confessional or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, in Catholic parlance, you have to do like 15 more Hail Marys just because.
It did feel very much like one of the jokes in Detroiters, that show on Netflix. With what's his name?
Robinson.
Tim Robinson. Yeah. Where him and his buddy are like talking with the pastor or whatever that was doing the sermon for like a funeral.
yeah,
Oh,
And he
sure.
was getting laughs on it. And then afterwards they're like, yeah, you know, those weren't real laughs. Right?
Oh, I haven't seen that. That's interesting.
yeah.
I think it's between preachers and Southwest airline flight crews who gets more undeserved laughs. Have you ever heard them try to do their funny shit
Yeah.
at the front when they're doing like, blah blah blah? This plane can make a water landing at least once, blah. Like,
Yeah.
fucking, because no one wants to piss you off when they have to deal with you for the next 2 hours. You know what I mean? So I thought also that I just thought, you know, that's one of those like.
yeah. It was kind of funny because after we've been talking and I re-listened to that joke, I felt like, yeah, Mike Birbiglia kind of
Doing that?
He is doing
yeah,
that now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Getting some real softball laughs up there.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
He's the pastor.
He's like Matthew, Mark,
all
Mike
setups.
Birbiglia, and Lou Gehrig, right?
All right. Yeah.
He's doing open altars right now.
It's not. Yeah. I mean, I can't argue with that. It's very. I mean, it's a sermon style is what he's doing. It's for sure what he sounds like.
I wonder how much of his style is influenced from said pastor.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, he reminded me of like when I was at like a Bible.
I mean, he
thing.
looks like a youth group minister for
Yeah,
sure.
and like it's like, well, the guy's not that funny, but he's funnier than a lot of other guys that
Sure.
get up here and talk.
Sure.
You know.
And that's I feel like that's probably where Birbiglia is at. Let's move on to
Do we have another bit?
no, because we chose the same one. We used the same one.
Oh,
And since our bits were a bit longer, I didn't want to do a million of them.
gotcha.
But yeah, so that'll take care of our favorite jokes and clips. Let's talk about what we didn't like more than we've already talked about some stuff. But
Yeah. Okay.
Colton, you hated this essentially.
There was a lot of it I didn't like. Yeah.
So talk to me about the elements that you didn't like.
I felt like there was a lot of hacky jokes in it. He does kind of he does a child like the pastor molestation joke. He does that for a while. He also does a joke of like mansplaining, and then he points out to a lady in the crowd, and he's like, "Mansplaining is when," and then like mansplains it to her. I think that's all open micer shit. I think some of this shit too. I feel like these bigger acts like this are not watching comedy really. I don't know how true that is, but I feel like some of them aren't, and it's kind of obvious in the material that they're doing.
Because they're out of touch
Yeah.
with the way comedy's going.
Yeah, and just like material wise, I think they're doing material that's pretty well mined. And if you go to an open mic, you would hear a lot of that same shit.
Yeah, I actually had that thought. That's some of his jokes.
Yeah,
The,
they were hacky in terms of
borderline.
overdone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like when he does the birthday party and hanging out with 9-year-olds, and he's like, "Oh, it makes me," what did he say? Understand pedophilia even less.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And he started tiptoeing around the stage like he crossed some serious line.
yeah.
Yeah. Or the one where he's like,
Maybe for him he did. I don't know. You know,
right.
I don't know.
Well, I
he is
think
a
for
clean
his
comic.
crowd, definitely.
Yeah.
But he also has that other joke about his kid asking like, "Well, what's this mean?" or "What's that?" or whatever, which is the Jim Gaffigan premise that like Jim Gaffigan crushed in one of his early specials.
About what his kid asking him what X was, what,
Yeah, yeah.
and then him
Yeah,
answering it.
and answering it like not knowing the answer to it, right?
Okay.
Like Jim Gaffigan had that same joke, and his kid's like, "What's that?" and points to an antenna. He's like, "Is stick? Is that a stick?" He's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
"No,
he's
it's an
like,
antenna."
"Nah, it's a stick, buddy."
"Eh,
Yeah.
What's an antenna? It's a stick. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty different, but I do understand the setup.
Premise is the same.
Yeah,
And if they're friends, he even name drops Jim Gaffigan in this.
as a friend, and does a really bad impression of him. He was trying to do an impression of Jim Gaffigan, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It seemed like he was, and it was not a good impression. So this child molestation joke humor, the priest molestation humor joke, Jesus, just the joke, not the humor joke, just the joke.
Let's
The
hear about
priest
the humor joke.
molestation. Yeah, let's talk about the humor jokes. The priest molestation joke is actually in his album, his first stand-up album. That exact joke.
Oh, really?
I grew up Catholic, and I was an altar boy, and the answer is no. Like that, the initial line, and then the talker, I think, part where he talks about like, yeah, I think he knew I was a bit of a talker or whatever.
Yeah, I did read that.
Yeah.
I read that there were some repeat jokes in this.
Oh yeah,
I
where'd
did a
you
little
read that?
recon.
Where'd you read? What were you looking at?
Don't ever go there, but Reddit.
Reddit, huh? You went to Reddit. I've never heard of such a place.
Yeah, it's not
Whoa.
usually.
Don't go there. Why do you say don't go there?
Eh,
Is it bad information or is it just people are annoying?
No, it's just more racist.
no, Reddit's not racist. That's 4chan, dude.
Oh, okay. I thought Reddit was pretty racist.
That's
Reddit's
why.
like
So you're like, go to
Reddit's
4chan.
like,
Don't go to Reddit.
Reddit's like the other way, very left wing.
Oh.
Wait, and so why is it a bad place to go then? Just because?
Oh, there's just people. Well, if you go to the stand-up Reddit,
Well, yeah, but what about it is shitty?
it's a lot of bitching.
Oh, just people complaining
Yeah,
about stand-up? Like in what way? Like complaining like the
most of them are probably open micers.
Oh, okay. So is it
don't
like the
post.
jokes suck, or is it like the people are racist, or is it like the, you know what I mean? Like what are they complaining about? All this shit?
Yeah, just the nature of stand-up.
Just stand-up in general.
Doing stand-up.
Any type of stand-up stuff.
There's a lot of like, I've been doing it for 5 months.
Jesus. Yeah, okay. Basically a lot of this podcast.
That's funny.
essentially is
Yeah, I was trying to be nice, but there's a lot of basically stand-up snobs on there. But there were some
it's
people.
different because we're doing an audio form.
Some people really like Mike Birbiglia stuff,
Sure.
but then they're like, well, I get if you don't.
We should target the Reddit community.
But then there was a lot of people that were like, Colton, trash. And then
Yeah,
I heard
well-
that there was a lot of repeat jokes, and I was like, oh, that's.
I don't. Yeah, maybe there were a lot. But I haven't seen all.
I don't
this
know how
one man
many.
show ones.
I
But
had no idea.
I noticed that.
They were new to me, so that's the thing about old jokes.
Yeah.
It's also like a.
First time I heard it.
Yeah.
If there are more examples, then fine. But like as a one-off, I don't give a shit. You're gonna use like, and
Yeah,
it was
I don't know.
that part of it. It wasn't like the whole joke.
yeah.
It was a couple lines, and I'm like, whatever. They can use that to transition into their bit about the Catholic Church and all the molestation, which I don't like that subject matter.
So one thing too I noticed, and I kind of like this about it, is he did have a lot of like kind of through lines throughout it, and he kind of connected a lot of different stories and shit. I thought that was cool, but I also felt like the stories weren't necessarily geared towards the laugh; they were more geared toward trying to make these certain things connect. So it's like I like full projects like that where like there's pieces that refer back to other pieces and callbacks and shit. But I don't like it if it feels like it just kind of felt so forced as a project. But I don't know.
Hey, guys.
It's neither here nor there, I suppose. It's just
No,
my
it
thought.
is. It makes sense. I get. So it was like a lot of the bits were to move the story along, not to get laughs out of them.
Yeah.
And I think I 100% agree with that. I thought the through line of the title, The Good Life, right? He says it maybe 3 or 4 times throughout the show, and you kind of know what he's doing the whole. Yeah. That was sort of telegraphed, I would say. In terms of like what he was gonna do, especially having seen any of his having seen any of them, I have, and you guys haven't, but you could tell anyway. But like in his other one-man shows, there's also usually is similar to sort of like starting and ending at the same place and just figuring out there's going to be a theme through it. And this time it was his dad's stroke. And the one that, the last one I saw was him getting into a car wreck and then proposing to his woman or his now wife.
Well, and then another thing too, I'm curious to know, since he's like structured it and he's put so much thought into that portion of it, I wonder if that painting behind him is also significant. If maybe that's called The Good Life or something as a painting.
I really wonder what the hell the painting's all about.
Because it has to be some type of symbolism or something.
There's probably something.
Well, his wife was a poet.
Yeah,
he talked about that.
Yeah, but
and he's a comic. And
maybe
together
she can also
draw
or also paints
possible.
or something.
It
wasn't like that painting was like, oh my god, this is unbelievable. I can't believe anyone could do it. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't. There's nothing wrong with it, but
unless the title was called The Good Life, I could see that.
The title of the painting. You're saying,
yeah.
But anyway, that'll do. I think I had the same. The only other thing that I had as far as the stuff it took him a little bit too long to get the jokes, but we kind of covered that.
Ooh, also something else I didn't like. He didn't end.
I'm excited about it.
Thought of something.
Yeah, go for it.
He didn't end on a laugh. I don't like that.
Oh yeah, he ended with he ended with The Good Life, right? Maybe
but it wasn't a laugh, but it was like a fade. It was weird. Honestly, I've never seen a special really end like that.
Well, that's what makes it more of a one man. That's part of the thing that makes it more of a one man. If you see any of the sort of trauma dump comedy one man show type, a lot of them do that, right? Like if Andrew Schultz's special ended with the little montage thing that he had, right? That would be the same.
Be similar, yeah.
It would be pretty similar, actually.
Yeah, well, it's more emotionally
Quincy
driven.
got a paper towel.
Fucking cock. All right.
I wanted to like it too. I think too, I'm not crazy about his cadence.
Yeah, I wanted to like it.
Yeah, same.
I heard so much about him.
Right.
And then I was like, oh.
I wonder if that's affecting why I'm not liking it also. Maybe my expectations were too high.
You're talking about the cadence. What didn't you like about the cadence?
It's kind of dry feeling.
Okay. That's definitely true.
And it's
that is his style for sure.
And for the long form stories like that where it's not super punchy, it's just kind of more exhausting than it is funny, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense.
Especially for 117 minutes.
Yeah, for
117 minutes.
117 minutes. That's a long time.
All right. So that we're good there. Let's go into the next. Oh yeah, we'll do this one real quick. Chat GPT reviews, dude.
Oh.
Every week we do a scathing and a glowing review generated by Chat GPT. I put in scathing review, Mike Birbiglia, The Good Life. Glowing review, Mike Birbiglia, The Good Life. And this is what comes out. I'm not going to read the whole thing because they're pretty long, but
I'm excited to hear this.
Go ahead.
The Good Life, a masterclass in heartfelt comedy. In The Good Life, Mike Birbiglia once again proves why he stands among the most masterful and moving storytellers in stand-up comedy. With his signature blend of vulnerability, sharp wit, and gentle self-deprecation, Birbiglia invites us into a deeply personal and often poignant journey that explores what it means to live, quote, a good life.
Poignant.
Quote. Poignant, and all the complicated, messy, beautiful contradictions that come with it.
There's a lot of self-deprecation.
The Good Life is a rare kind of special, deeply funny, profoundly human, and quietly brave. It doesn't just entertain, it lingers long after the final laugh. Birbiglia's reflections on love, loss, and meaning continue to echo. It's the kind of comedy that doesn't make you laugh, doesn't just make you laugh, it makes you feel. It makes you feel. All right, so that was you felt rage and indignance.
You're right. I did feel stuff. Felt tired.
It did say that it's he's a masterful storyteller
and gentle self-deprecation. I think that's also
that is pretty much his only jokes is self-deprecating.
An awkward, unconfident persona. That's sort of his thing. Those ones aren't as fun as the scathing ones.
Yeah, let's get to scathing.
Mike Birbiglia, The Good Life. Navel gazing in a cardigan. Mike Birbiglia is The Good Life aspires to be a touching meditation on fatherhood, mortality, and the complexities of adult existence. Instead, it often feels like a TED Talk in a desperate need of a punchline. Slow, overly precious, and trapped in its own self-regard. The biggest problem is just not funny enough. The pacing is glacial, the observations are overly sanitized, and the self-deprecation, once a strength, has curdled into a kind of humble bragging. You can practically hear the audience being cued to respond with awe instead of laughter. In The Good Life, Birbiglia wants to be poignant and profound, but the special feels more like a sermon for people who already agree with everything he says. Safe, soft, and curiously empty.
Wow.
Boom.
Harsh.
Facts.
I think both of them are pretty accurate.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I think the last one is more accurate.
I
You
just-
know you don't like it.
AI just shifted me a little bit.
It did what?
Shifted.
It shifted you?
Shifted.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
How do you feel shifted?
It shifted my perspective.
To what?
He was navel gazing in a cardigan.
He was navel gazing in a cardigan? I don't even know what navel gazing means. I just
Staring
like
in
the
your
term.
belly button, dude. So self-absorbed.
So, that's what that means?
I think. I don't know. I'm just deducing what it probably means.
How
That's
is,
not what I thought at all, but I love that.
How
That's
is
what
that?
means.
How is that changing your perspective? That sounds like exactly what you were already saying.
Well, earlier I said I didn't hate it.
Oh, now you hate it because of Chat GPT. You hate it.
Don't underestimate the
Jesus,
power of
dude.
artificial intelligence, man.
That's
All
a
right,
fact.
you
dude.
guys are
That's a
being
fact.
overly harsh, but
No.
both of these,
He's fine.
both
Yeah.
of these were
He made
were accurate.
fucking probably $1 million, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not the question.
I've never made $1 million.
I mean, Chelsea Handler made a shit ton of money off hers too, and we fucking hated it.
the only thing that matters in
rather
this
watch
world
Chelsea
is
Handler's.
material
No, you
gain.
wouldn't. Shut the fuck up. No, you wouldn't. You told me earlier today. He's like, it wasn't like Chelsea Handler bad.
Yeah, but Chelsea Handler.
But now you're gonna flip on it.
You know-
you got a little bit of support from John. Now you're feeling froggy. You're gonna puff up your chest, start shitting on comedy legends over here.
Yeah, that's why I feel bad.
He's such a chameleon, dude.
Oh my chameleon. All I'm saying
Just
is
blending
hers,
into your surroundings.
hers
I'm a
was
chameleon.
more
to
fun.
ChatGPT, apparently.
Hers is more fun, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, this one wasn't as fun.
I didn't watch it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, she talks about doing drugs with Snoop Dogg or something.
All right.
A little more fun. Subject.
Also, I found it surprising he didn't know what a stroke was, considering his dad was a surgeon.
Well, not he
right?
knows what it is. He doesn't know how to explain it to a
blood clot in the
toddler.
brain. Boom.
Yeah, blood
Yeah,
clot.
that's what he said that. I mean, he says like, "Oh, it's your brain. You get a blood clot or whatever."
He
something
said
like
you're
that.
you're bleeding. Your
You're
body's
bleeding.
always
It's an
bleeding.
injury to your brain. You're bleeding. Blah blah blah. There's not, dude.
Which is a perfect response to a 9-year-old. You don't got to be like, look, here's.
And that's what he said in the special.
I don't remember. So that's my bad.
I do. It was bad.
That's my bad. That's my bad, Birbigs.
If I liked it, you'd be in my position right now. You'd be hating on it.
No,
I
don't
was
think
actually,
so.
I actually thought you weren't gonna like it very much.
Yeah, I know. He does this to me.
No, the thing is,
He
I
likes
didn't.
to
I
like
didn't
specials that aren't very
listen.
good.
I'm not
listen,
saying you
I didn't
loved it.
say I loved it. I'm just trying to give it a reasonable shot,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to, I guess.
Read me the glowing review from ChatGPT.
No, I don't need it. And then, if that one went last, you would have been okay with
I
it.
try to shift my perspective back a little bit.
It is self-deprecating. I think if anybody watches it and they think they're going in for a stand-up special, I don't think they're going to be too crazy about it.
I mean, yeah, when we definitely talked about that because it isn't really a stand-up special. 100% agree with that.
And I think it might. I mean, it'd probably do really well in like the church community.
So it was kind of right when it
course it
said that he was kind of just talking to people that already agree with him.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
your
I
thing, was
said
like,
both of them were
yeah,
accurate.
you said that.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, if you don't get him or you don't know him,
you don't like
probably
him.
won't like it.
For sure.
yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
He's got his crowd. He knows it.
Agreed.
Cool.
Agreed.
and it's probably a pretty clean church crowd. I think he probably gets a lot of the same people as like a Jim Gaffigan.
I mean,
or
he
a Nate
goes pretty hard
Bargatze.
on the Catholic Church on that one.
He does, but so does Jim Gaffigan.
I think Catholics have a little pride in that now.
Mm.
Like, yeah, we're Catholic. We hated the church.
I don't know if that's true.
Did you see at the end?
Well, I didn't feel like
he
went
had
that
a he had a tribute to Pope
The
Francis.
Pope? Yeah, he met the guy. You know what I mean?
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, he says
Yeah.
that in the special.
Yeah, you don't remember that part either?
Jim Gaffigan was the one.
That was when I fell asleep.
Jim Gaffigan.
He started talking about church stuff. I was like, snooze.
It's funny. So you have
Just
no
what
frame
church-
of reference,
just
Donnie.
what church does to me, dude.
It's funny. All right, so we've had enough. Good hang.
No.
I don't think he'd be a good hang.
He said he wasn't.
He did.
I think he'd be.
Yeah,
I think
early
he'd
in the
be a
beginning.
shitty hang.
Early in the beginning, he was like, I'm always a bad hang.
Does he drink?
I don't know, dude.
I mean, I think he'd sound
Hanging
more
out with
fun
somebody.
if he was drinking. He'd probably be a little more fun.
You don't even know if he doesn't drink or not.
I know he wasn't drinking right then.
You know he wasn't currently drinking.
Yeah, and I didn't like that.
During
so
the-
I'm hoping
Jesus
maybe if
Christ.
he drank a little bit, he'd get a little pep in his voice or something.
He's on that drug, though. Klopticon.
Klonopin.
Nice.
Klopticon, dude, yeah.
Decepticon. He does. We don't know if he drinks, so Colton doesn't know if he's a good hang or not. I forgot that was
That is my parameter.
the parameter.
I bet he's cool
whether
to
or not
hang
you
out with.
drink or not.
I always said no because he said he said he wasn't.
Oh, I'm saying no because he's a hypochondriac and because he's got a million things wrong with him, and I feel like he'd just talk about all the illnesses he has for the entire
Yeah,
time
like
you
one
talk
of
to
those.
him.
Like I got a bump.
Yeah, he'd be like talking to my dad and all my uncle. With his shit working at open mic, I don't. No way.
no.
Maybe that nipple joke.
I don't think it would work.
The nipple joke.
Takes him
hard
too long to
nipple
get to
joke?
stuff.
Yeah.
It's not dirty enough. None
The
of that
hard
shit would
nipple
work.
stuff might work, and the
Maybe.
and the Catholic shit would probably
Yeah,
work.
probably.
Maybe one joke.
But aside from that, I don't.
I actually like the hard nipple joke. That was pretty good.
yeah, the hard nipple one.
I don't.
wasn't bad.
Yeah, I don't think it would. I don't think that shit would work. Better name for the special. I mean, he clearly wanted that name for the special.
I don't know.
The
You
whole
could
thing was-
name anything else because
That was the whole point of it. Or the whole
point.
theme. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. You got anything, Colton?
No,
Go
the
with-
bad life. I don't know. It's
The bad life,
The sad.
nice.
The shit. The shit.
The bad death.
I don't know. I didn't like it. Go ahead.
It's time for Why I'm Better.
Oh, nice.
All right. As we know, this is the start. This is how we started this podcast. It was all about talking shit about comics who are much more successful than we are. Between the three of us, we have roughly 1,500 Instagram followers, so we're pretty big time. And Mike Birbiglia has done that many specials, but we are going to tell you how we're better than this fucking idiot.
I'll go.
You want to go? Okay.
Sure.
This is why Colton Drake is better than Mike Birbiglia.
All right, Birbiglia. I'm better than you because, for one, if I was filming my special, I'm not coming out in that frumpy getup you were wearing. That shit was ass, okay? Also, you're designing your whole special so that you can have like 6 callbacks that kind of tie into each other, and it's all just kind of lousy laughs throughout the whole thing. I would never do that, okay? I'm trying to write setup, I'm trying to write funny jokes, and from somebody that has a podcast about writing funny jokes, you'd think that you would do a little bit better on that front. And I know I would, okay? I don't have a podcast about that. I have a podcast about shitting on comics that are better than me. And that's why I'm doing this right here. Here's the thing. Whoa. Here's the thing. Also, you need to do some more dirty jokes, dude, because maybe you need a new audience because that audience sucks, dude. They're laughing at trash. You're giving them trash to laugh at. And we need you to, I don't know, maybe go out and be in some different rooms where they're harder and they're not just geared for people that already like you, and then maybe your special would be funnier. That's how I'm better than you. I'm going to put myself in front of harder audiences, and I'm going to write better jokes. Colton Drake out.
Colton Drake with a Mike Birbiglia length. Why I'm better. Holy shit.
yeah.
Fucking 12 minutes later.
117
Good
minutes.
Lord. 117 minutes long. That was why Colton Drake is better than Mike Birbiglia. This is why Jon Hodge, guest host Jon Hodge, new host next week. Jon Hodge. That's why guest host Jon Hodge is better than Mike Birbiglia.
Well, I just think I'm funnier.
And that is why Jon Hodge is better than Mike Birbiglia.
That's all it has to be.
It really is all it
It's
has
that
to be.
easy.
Think I'm funnier. Boom. Roasted. All right. I will do why I'm better than this is why I'm better than Mike Birbiglia. I can tell you wanted to be a priest, Mike, because that's exactly what you sound like. It was mostly a sermon. It was very long. You get to the fucking point. It'd be great. Oh, I get it. You don't like religion. So I have to trauma dump for fucking an hour, 117 minutes. Yeah, you're shit. Your impression of Jim Gaffigan was maybe the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. You're trash. Your special's trash. And that's why we're better than Mike Birbiglia. Birbiglia. All right, you guys. That closed the book on Mike Birbiglia. Thank God.
I felt bad for the listeners this week having to watch that one.
I feel worse for them having to listen to us fucking talk, to be honest with you. Listener mail. We got a listener mail. Like our third in history. Listener mail from
This is fun.
Jay Rudabaugh. Rudy, a.k.a. Rudy.
Jay Rude.
Shout out. Comes out the draft zone quite a bit. He emailed us and just let us know in a very aggressive manner. Like, you guys need to fucking watch Bad Thoughts. Tom Segura. It's insane. It's so good. So we read it. I think Colton already watched it. I have not watched it yet. I will. Have you watched it, John?
I watched like 5 minutes.
What'd you think? Not like it? Not for you?
I like it.
Why not? What do you not like about it?
It felt like a middle school.
Like middle school humor?
Yeah.
Like it's just gross out humor or what?
Yeah.
All right.
That is what it is.
You're very verbose, John. Yeah. Yeah.
What else is there to say?
Whatever you want.
You know,
That's fine. That's enough.
Tom just,
Your new host. Your new host, Jay.
Tom just, I think we all know, John. That was very well said. That was poignant, as we know.
yeah, that's
Love it.
Tom's mind.
Thanks, Jay, for sending that in. If you'd like to send anything into the podcast, our email address is standupsnobs@gmail.com. IG follower count update. Oh, my goodness. Last week, Colton was in the lead with 520, and I had 516, and I had 464. This week, Colton moved up to 520,
Nice.
Yes.
Big time.
and I moved up to 468. So we
Getting to that
tied.
Nice.
500.
Hell yeah.
We each got 4.
Getting that 500.
So we tied.
Once Jay gets 500, we hit a thou wow. Pretty stoked on it.
Well, I mean, we only need 12 more total, dude. If you want to hit your 12, you're fine.
Oh, yeah, you're
You
right.
you don't need me.
You guys just need 6 each. 12 divided by 2.
Dude, look at this guy. Mathematician.
Dude, new host material.
Damn, dude, this guy's crazy. Jon Hodge. He was also an MIT professor
How's your geography, John?
of adding.
Poignant.
Nice.
Poignant.
I have 590.
Yeah, I was going
Whoa.
to say Jon Hodge has more than we do.
Big flexer.
Hodge,
That's why we brought him on the pod.
591.
That's why we brought you on, dude.
Good job. But yeah, we're trying to expand.
Well,
our
if you
base.
guys, follow my lead, you probably get to my kind of numbers.
Who are we listening to, fellas?
So my comedian for this week is Trevor Austin.
Trevor Austin.
I found him on Instagram. Very funny guy.
Yeah. TREVORAUSTIN comedy. And that's his Instagram handle. John, who is your selection?
Mark Smalls.
Mark Smalls. That's
Yeah,
his
he
Instagram.
has probably tens of thousands,
Tens of millions.
maybe millions.
Yeah.
Damn.
And my person today is Michael Rowland. MICHAELROWLANDO_O_. I don't know why he did that. That seems weird to me, but funny dude. Saw some clips of him on Instagram. Liked him. Check him out.
Cool.
Also he has got like 10,000 or 20,000. So
Nice.
not a huge guy, but getting bigger every day.
We like to try to shine a light on people that are coming up.
Absolutely, man.
That being
Absolutely.
said, in the early episodes, I did say Louis C.K. one time.
You did. That's right. You definitely.
Here's some guy you're gonna want to keep an eye on.
I had Ron
You're
White.
gonna want to hear
once,
this
so
guy.
pretty big time.
You're gonna want to keep your eyes on what this guy's up to.
You guys
All
heard
right.
of Jeff Foxworthy?
Next,
Some say he's making waves.
some say this guy. Upcoming shows, man. Colton, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So June 8th, I have the Kevin James Thornton show. I'll be hosting that. That'll be just a one-off show at the Spokane Comedy Club. And then June 17th, I am on the Father's Day Puns of Anarchy show, also at the Comedy Club.
With Ibrahim and other fathers.
I'm a cat dad. And then July 19th, I will be in Seattle at Highness Mediterranean Restaurant. And that's what I have.
Seattle,
Okay.
Yes.
international.
All right, buddy.
International.
For my part,
Zealand.
I have a Quincy Belt Tournament of Champions June 6th with Jon Hodge, one of our competitors.
Oh, yeah.
Looking to try to win $15 million or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think it's up there.
Yeah, it's $1,500, I believe. So Jon Hodge will be on that show. That's in Post Falls, Idaho. That's going to be a really fun show. Really excited. Really excited to give that belt away and give that money away. It's going to be great. And then I have Roastamania also with Jon Hodge, June 22nd,
Oh, yeah. I forgot
2025.
about that one.
We are going against each other in the first round. Bloodbath, dude. It's going to be a bloodbath.
It's going to be
Deuce
a
and
real
deucing.
bloodbath.
Let's go.
I'm going to look at you and go, Jay.
Come on.
You know, not
Come on.
what else?
Look at this guy.
Look
Look
at
at this guy. So, yeah, we're both on that show. Any other shows you have? That's the only shows I have coming up. But any other shows you have, John?
Yeah. June 6th, Cider Mill. The Inland Cider Mill.
It is June.
Here in Spokane. It's
June. Yeah, I said June 6th on the Quincy Belt.
yeah,
June
June
7th
7th
on the
is
Quincy
the
Belt.
Quincy
Sorry
Belt
about that.
Tournament Champions.
June 6th, Cider Mill.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. If you're in Spokane, go to the Inland Cider
Anything
Mill.
else?
June 29th,
Okay.
Spokane Comedy Club.
Nice. Who's that for? Who's that with?
Hosting, Ian Fidance.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Right on.
That'll be fun.
Is that a one-off show then, too?
Yeah, it's a Sunday.
Right on.
Yeah. Just a one-off.
Cool. Is that it?
I got some other stuff in July. I forget the days.
All right. Check it out at
Moses Lake. I think
$52.99.com.
Moses Lake.
It's a defunct website.
You can go to my defunct website.
Oh, yeah. Follow John on Instagram. I forgot about that part. That's where you can find stuff out. You post stuff every once in a while. It's _ Jon Hodge, correct?
Yeah.
Underscore
Jon.
JON, no H.
No
J-
H.
Underscore JONHODGE. You can follow Colton at Colton Drake Comedy. You can follow me at J Bird Comedy. You can follow Stand Up Snobs at Stand Up
One time I told someone no H, and they're like, no H in Hodge? I was like, no.
Jon Hodge.
No H in John.
That's funny.
Pretty funny.
Nothing else, though?
Oh, I actually do have one more. I'm hosting for Mike Cronin Spokane Comedy Club July 5th and 6th. So, yeah.
4 shows?
It says
Right after your
Nice.
4th of
Whatever. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. A lot of shows.
it says 3 shows.
There you go, baby. That's old Colton Drake. He's hosting machine now lately.
Yeah, dude.
So there we go.
Big host.
Been hosting.
That's what we got coming up. Thank you for listening. Appreciate that. Next week, you guys. Next week, we got Jerrod Carmichael. Don't be gay. That's the name of the special. He is gay, so I guess he's allowed to do that. That's the name of the special.
Nice.
Jerrod Carmichael, Don't Be Gay. That's next week. Thank you guys so much for listening, and please keep liking, subscribing, and all that stuff. Give us any feedback you want at standupsnobs@gmail.com. Special thanks to our guest, Mr. Jon Hodge. Thanks for coming out, man. Appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And we'll have you on another bonus episode.
Make sure I
when we're
get those
recording.
clips.
Yeah, you'll get them clips.
Need the clips.
Colton Drake, anything else?
Bye-bye.
I'm learning what to do with anger in my relationship because I'm real sensitive and I get my feelings hurt all the time. Sometimes my boyfriend says stuff in a way that lets me know he's never been punched in the face before. You know what I mean? Like, it's a tone that he uses. Like, he's passive aggressive sometimes, and like passive aggression is white violence, I've learned. We're in an open relationship, which was his idea. My idea was to cheat and to live a secret life and let the lie weigh on my soul and come home and sit quietly in the driveway for a real long time, just like my dad. I still have to express my feelings, and I have to tell him when he's hurt my feelings. And that's really difficult for me to do because that is really gay. Don't get me wrong, I'll suck his dick till the cows come home. I'm not gonna tell him he's hurt my feelings. I'm a man, goddammit. I was trying because I was raised straight. And when you're raised straight, you know there's only one rule. Don't be gay. I broke the only rule, y'all.